This is a tarot reading for the week beginning the 10th of November until the 17th of November. Welcome to my channel. This is Transform with Tarot, and I just want to begin by talking a little bit about the meditation and some of the messages that came through before I began this reading. I call in all of the elements and the directions, and there was an energy of air being lifted up and real clarity. If there are things that are weighing a little bit heavily in your mind, there was a feeling that you can handle all of it. They were really large birds that I saw, so like a pelican or that kind of bird that doesn't usually fly, and it was really graceful. So what I'm seeing and sensing with that is that you may feel that there's a heaviness in your thoughts. However, you really do have the capacity to fly and to lift up. So you have now gathered so much wisdom that your thoughts and the ability to manage and to be with anything that's strong or repetitive, it's like you can just lift up and take off. You have that capacity. With the elements of earth, there was the image came through of clay and of somebody painting their body with clay and like ochre, and real water and earth elements were coming together really strongly. And what I'm getting from that is also about that ability to combine the material with your emotional world. So the water is usually represented by our emotions, and there was this combining with this earth and the water. So there's a combining of being with the flow and, you know, bringing in the elements of the earthy aspects, so taking care of business, so taking care of the details, and all of those things were done in quite a sensual, really merged way. So there was no imbalance about either being totally emotional or in a space where you didn't feel like you were handling the changes that might be occurring in your life, and you were just taking care of things as they came up. The element of fire was definitely about the flame being inside of you, and really remembering not to look for your security, your passion, your understanding outside of yourself. There might be people who try to take you off course and try to explain to you what is, the way to go or what you should be doing. Really, it's about having the capacity to come back and recognize that your lightness, your spark of truth is worth following, and it's very unique and it's very different from other people. They may not support you, they may not understand you, they may even derail you, but the key is for you to keep going back to what lights you up. So that heart space, that space needs to be taken to just sit with that, so that you're enlivened by what lights you up. The element of water was really strongly showing me crocodile spirit, and the crocodile is that earth, really ancient creature that's a real earth mama kind of spirit. That when I think of the crocodile, when I see the crocodile, this time the crocodile was going like it was going downstream, and it was moving, so it wasn't waiting and sitting like they do, waiting for its prey, and they can go underwater for, I don't know, like I think it's up to weeks at a time. There wasn't that kind of waiting energy, it was a movement energy, and it was going to relocate. So there's a relocation within many people's journey at the moment, and there's a relocation, and this can be very physical, and it can be very much about the relocation of the way that you see things, the way that you want to do things in your life. You are not waiting around anymore for things to fall or to come to you. You're really taking action. And this also has a flow and emotion about it. So let's see what the cards have got to say. I have really shuffled this deck quite strongly before we started, but I will ask the cards to give us some more insights about the week of the 10th of November to the 17th of November. This is a collective reading. The reading is for whatever works for you. So take whatever's coming through that makes sense and leave whatever doesn't. I'm going to read through Monday through to the weekend. So there's the earth mama that I was talking about with the clay and the mixing of the water and the earth, and that real sense of coming into a place of security within yourself. And it does often take a bit of merging, but this person has reached a real calmness within their being. So Monday has the potential for you to I really think you need to sit in a calmness and an accomplished feeling. So if you will accomplish what you want to accomplish on Monday, you will feel like things are sprouting in the right direction, your ideas are taking root, and you're very, very comfortable in where you're moving and where you're heading. So lean right into that. Lean into that so that you don't get caught up in what isn't working, what is feeling like it's pulling you away from the calm space and that new sense of self that you've worked really hard to have and to feel and to embody. And this kind of devil energy it's to me it's chaos. It's not actually it's a movement energy, but it can also be a scatteredness. So be aware of the polarity on Monday between being really seated and embodied and knowing that you have things under control, that you have everything materially is coming into place for you. So there's financial things that are really falling into place. So this could be in terms of finances, in terms of work and work contracts, and just all things material, all things that need to be taken care of and purchased. You're feeling really comfortable in that place. So keep leaning into it and away from anything that might derail you, away from any negative or heavy thoughts that are coming in to perhaps take you off balance. And there is a sense of leaving one thing behind, moving towards something new. And there is, you are in a fairly beginning place with moving into balance in a new direction. So we always move through a period where we get a new idea or something new comes in, and then we balance it out. We might have to contemplate the aspects of it. And then so the Two of Wands is this just reflecting a little bit and finding your balance. So Monday is really a day of balance, and it could be extreme energies. Like it could be that there's a bit of a flip-flop between I feel really balanced, I feel really off. So perhaps the best thing to do is to take stock and be still, to get a higher perspective, and not to get caught up in the any kind of drama that might come up to take you away from your own inner balance. Moving into Tuesday, the energy there is there's a little bit of destabilization. So there's a little bit of, you might have some things from the past that you have I guess you feel like you didn't have a handle on certain things, or you hadn't taken care of certain aspects, and they all sort of come up and they kind of all mix together to, perhaps again it's that derailing sort of energy where, things feel like they're heating up a lot in your world, and so it's just a little bit of a destabilizing energy on Tuesday. And really the only thing that you've got to lose is that you're actually stepping out into really new spaces within yourself, and it's a very accomplished feeling. You really can be leaning into this accomplishment. It's that fire energy again. It's like, it's yours. Own it. Own what you're doing. Own your choices. Own your reality. Own that you are the master of your own world. There is this real creative energy that you have and that you have mastered in your life, and it's time for you to stand up and be really super proud of yourself. And there's an element of perhaps sometimes that can be overwhelming, and you can't lean fully into that. Sometimes the external world can be a little bit distracting, and I feel like this is your accomplishment. It's not about anybody else. And the way to really harness that Six of Wands energy of accomplishment and, finally stepping out into the light and into your limelight and to what place makes you feel lit up and alive and attractive and all those good things. And there's a bit of almost the light's burning quite brightly, and there's a need to really rest and take care. Your heart's really tender at the moment, and there's a new place, there's a new nest, there's a new place that your heart is resting in, and it's about a re-establishment of where you've come and where you're going. And there's a really big strong emphasis on feeling comfortable in your own skin, feeling comfortable in your home, in your environment, in what kind of nurturing spaces you're creating for yourself. So the creation of nurturing spaces is about taking care of your heart and putting that at the forefront and of everything that you do. So you can come out in the world and you can definitely shine. And then there's also a need for your being to come back and be at rest and be at peace. Wednesday and Thursday is again there's a sort of a solo energy this week where you're feeling like you're doing things in your own pace, and she's quite on her own here, this lady moving with huge packs of her things, her belongings, and she's packed up. She's moving on from past experiences. She's moving on with what she needs for the future. She has accomplished a lot and she's come a long way, and that that there's the bull there, and it's that energy of perhaps almost too much independence, you know, or that's your way of going about things in the world is quite independently and really strongly, you know, knowing the right way for you. This is beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing for you to feel that coming to the end of something and being able to pick up and move into a new direction. And yeah, there's a sense this Knight of Cups here is balancing out your movement, and there's the flurry of energy of things moving forward and things that have come to a culmination. And with that is sometimes people who are envious or who don't want to see your progress in the way that you're progressing. There's something here about, you know, your wistful energy, you're just comfortable in yourself kind of energy, that I think other people can look at that and be a little bit threatened by that. So keep in your own space, in your own world, and, you know, deflect anything that's about, you know, anyone kind of trying to derail you in any way. And the best way to do that is by, again, taking time and space to come back to yourself, to call back your own energy, to draw in and connect with the Creator. You're a creative being. You've created so much movement in your life, and that creativity is now taking shape, and it's taking shape in a way that could be almost quick moving, and you're almost taken a little bit by surprise. But the whole part of this journey is that connection to your higher self, to your sense of spirit, your connection to creation, however you perceive that oneness. Mastering that and being there is the goal. It is the ultimate accomplishment that you're going to embody. Yeah, so if there's anything that's feeling a little bit perhaps like, you know, trying to derail you again from where you're moving, or the excitement, or the, you know, the promise of new things, I think if something kind of takes over and, you know, is not helpful in that space for you, a person, something that could block you, I think come back to your own intuition, connect with the universe, ask the universe for what you need. There is a lot of flooding in of energy if you take the time, and that energy is truly supportive. The High Priestess here is just basking in this beautiful universal light, this purple light's coming into the being. Everything that's not her is moving out. She's letting go. She's making sure to do rituals to let go of anything and anyone that's not on her, not for her highest good. And she's trusting in the divine really, really strongly. So you're trusting in your connection to how you're creating your life is purely and really strongly for you and guided by you and for you. And see, the energies are quite shifting here on Friday. The horse here has settled down a little bit. The knight that's going out sort of gallantly and that's really moving quite fast is now is slowing down a little bit by Friday. So don't know if you can see that there. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving building of, it's like all of the things have been gathered. You've gathered up all of your aspects that need to be sorted out. So you're sorting through your finances, you're sorting through your paperwork, your aspects that you're wanting to pull together and move forward with. And it's a bit slower. It's a little bit more of a gentle movement forward. The knights are often moving quite quickly, and this one is a lot more calculated. It's worked out It's got a great list of things that it's working towards, and it's going to do that in a methodical way, and you get more of a sense of that peace in coming in on Friday. And the Eight of Swords here, again, there's aspects of the mind that can sometimes make us feel like we perhaps, the movement and things that are moving us forward are not happening fast enough. That could be part of it. There's that push-pull between the movement between letting things go and moving on in a new direction. There can be parts of our mind that brings up past traumas and things that really affected us in the past. However, it's really time to start with very new ways of looking at your current situation. You don't need to be nitpicking and getting caught up in those little sort of annoying little aspects of things that probably annoyed you in the past. You're starting to learn to recognize that if you slow down and you trust in your insights and you trust in everything that you're creating, you're going to have so much more synchronicity, so many more light bulb moments that are guiding you forward. So rather have light bulb moments than nitpicking mind or nitpicking other people or controlling situations that are really uncontrollable. It's better if you keep focusing on what it is that's driving you forward, and there are really new ideas that are popping into your mind quite quickly, and often on a daily you'll be getting new ideas in ways to navigate moving forward in creative projects. And I think you can write them down so that they can keep building their manifestation. So if you're getting ideas, write them down, and if you have to research them or you need to spend some time looking into them a little bit more, definitely do that. Your intuition is really on point this week, and that is the whole point of why I like to do the collective readings, is really to hopefully keep on inspiring people to connect with what it is that they are feeling, what it is that's lighting you up, what your ideas are that are coming through. And you certainly feel enlightened by quite a new approach by coming into the weekend. And you might just find yourself really wanting to move quickly on that new idea, and there may be some time to take time to contemplate a little bit longer. However, there's a feeling of needing to move. So there is this week a combination of energies of calmness and movement. So the weekend will see you back again, just balancing that out and trusting your intuition. You may have to act on some things fairly quickly. You may have to speak up about things, and your voice is really important. And you really are letting go of the ways that you have approached things in the past. This is a big culmination energy. So people's internal worlds during the Scorpio season are often the part of us that is undergoing the most change. And I also see there's a lot of activity that's matching that in the external world. So this is an incredibly intense period of time where, the changes are not only internal, but they're also on the material level as well. And so that sort of feels like a double, like it's teaching us to combine all the aspects of being and to harness all of that. So harnessing the change and the motion and the flow, and also being okay with the things that are slipping away. And there is a lot actually that's moving away, and almost the flutter of energy it's exciting, and it possibly has been a hard time. You might be reflecting on the intensity of the last couple of years, particularly the last year, and just moving in a way that allows you to honor everything you've been through, and just give yourself a little bit of space over the weekend just to be on your own. I really get a sense that there's a need for a little bit of a ritual around what's moving on, because of the there's a pulling towards taking action and doing things very practically and sorting things out. I think you've also got to give yourself even a moment just quietly under a tree or sitting outside or at the beach, just to really reflect and maybe give yourself space to recognize what's leaving your life and the challenges you've had and that you've overcome, which leads into this beautiful give and take energy of the Six of Pentacles. And this is really a very comforting feeling within our being when we feel that situations that we're creating are about a balancing, and that gives us a sense of moving through time. And there's the eternity symbol here, so it's like it's a universal principle of life being balanced when we're giving and taking. So it's you can't give if you're not full, that sort of thing. You can't, and then you can't be fulfilled if you're not filled up as well. There's no reciprocity here if you're not feeling that you're getting something in return for all the energy and effort that you're putting into the world just for being who you are. So it's interesting that we end the week with a really strong element of balance, because the whole week here seems to be about balancing out the movements that are taking us forward, possibly things that are trying to derail us, but nothing will take any of you off course this week, because you're so solid in your connection to the divine. And I just would love to pull an animal spirit card, and just we had that beautiful crocodile spirit energy, that earth mama, that combination of earth and water combining that strength with the crocodile. I wonder, let's see, I just want to see if there's one last message. Yeah. And we have the hummingbird spirit. So be here now. Focus on the present, when all the things are moving and there's lots of moving parts, and there's a flurry of both internal letting go and big emotions, and some grief and sadness and things that may be about moving and changing in new directions. Just reflect on that ability to come back and give yourself moments of grace and presence to be here now and soak up all the goodness that there is to offer, even amidst all of the potential flurry of activity and movement. So be here now. The hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present, here and now. You are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird spirit's messages is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. Have a beautiful week, everybody. I love that. See you next time. Bye.